We're playing right now NGS. So let's get started. I want to discuss with you guys a little something or a little treat. It's a project that I'm working on, but hopefully you guys are into it. So, as I was saying, this project is pretty much my alliance. And what do I mean by alliance? Well, my alliance is pretty much called Embor. So MBOR with dots as spaces. So this acronym is Embor, but actual name is Misfits Bones of Resistance. That's pretty much what it means. And I came up with it. My friend gave me some ideas and I smashed those ideas together and came up with this. But anyways, I've been thinking a lot and trying to find ways to entertain myself and maybe find other ways to entertain others by using this alliance. Because so far what I've seen of alliance, the community as a whole, because of the NGS official server in Discord and things like that, how they are completely toxic, and I would say 90% of official server. They're not doing nothing about it to change or to fix any issues or problems. The developer team is not doing anything about to improve certain aspects of things. It probably is bad management and the higher ups as you go forward from looking at the perspective of Sega as a whole and the shit that's been happening, going with, you know, the people that's been hiring or hired, I should say, to view overall the global server or JP. I don't know about the JP server or their Discord thing, so I can't talk shit about it. But if someone knows about it, let me know, or you know, I'll try to find out as I go along. But in global server, it's pretty much just ass, I will say. That is why the community sucks, I'm guessing. And I wouldn't say 100% everyone. I would say, you know, just to pick a few, I would say for overall 90%. And out of that 90%, that small percentage of 10% trying to make some changes or, you know, do what they can to, you know, keep this shit alive. Which, you know, I tip my hat to some of you guys that are trying. But I think in a way we can do better as a community. How to get rid of the bad eggs, how to identify certain bad eggs. Well, as I said, this alliance is pretty much, you know, to each their own, do whatever the hell they want. However, there's going to be rules of your type of freedom of to do such and such to keep it more organized. I'm not that type of person or leader that, gonna be on your ass or, I'm not a strict person. I'm not a type of person to lead someone. I can, because I've been a leader before. Just that I don't have it in me to play this game so long because I like exploring and, playing different type of games. Not sticking myself into one rabbit hole. I like to go to many other games that suits me, that catch my attention. NGS, I've been, it's a toxic relationship. You're gonna get back into that relation and get back out. Get back in, get back out. That's how it is. Now, and maybe certain other games as well. So, like I said, I would like to build a community that changes up the atmosphere of the game. And by doing that, it involves Discord as well. Not going by the rules of, whatever the TOS of outside of, my server and what I can control and do. And also for this game, what I can do in the community, but also what I'm not gonna do. So it's kind of like a mash things what I want to envision. Because as of now, I want to make a group, hangout. But depending how much people I have, then if it grows, I envision later on down the line with the right type of people and the right, content creators that wants to join in the fun and to improve the community as a whole. We have to make our own TOS because TOS of the game NGS and probably base game, it's pretty much ass. So we have to create our own that is perfect enough, or we crossing out our T's and crossing out our X's and Y's to make it fit for this game. And that can be reliable. So you could have your freedom to do this and that, but you're going to be, have a certain limit on what you can and cannot do. Because if you cross the line where you shouldn't be crossing, you're out of the community, and people would know if you're out of the community. So it's giving you space to take a breather of whatever we're trying to do and whatever we're involved in. So you're going back to the old system. We're making a new system. So a branch of fresh air and having tasks and missions, what we can accomplish in Discord server as well as the game itself. What I mean by task and missions, things like that. I'll give you guys an example. Because as you log into the game, yeah, you're gonna have, the tip system and all that BS, which is fine and dandy, but also there is certain steps to you could play around with the TOS system, and you could integrate it in the way that we should be making this as a whole of a new community system. So let's try this out. I guess here. Okay, there it is. So you have your side and your limit time task. So it's a list. So instead of following through this list, we should be following on a different type of list. So our in-game list, because we're not gonna use XP anymore. And so XP here, the reward, you're not getting any in-game currency. So we have to, like I said, make a community that can grow. So this idea can branch out and then be improved by other content creators, or you know what, you guys as gamers. So each and every one has a piece to put themselves in to make this game better and grow. Because what Sega's not doing is keeping the players into the game and have them interested. I'm going to find ways and tasks that you are going to be interested in doing. And you know, maybe you won't like certain tasks. Maybe that task is not built for you. So find something else that is going to be suited for you. Because there might be, you know, there might be people like gathering stuff and finding things here and there. Okay? But there are players that's, you know what, I'm just gonna haul ass and fight certain enemies. Okay, there's a way to do that, to make it more fun, more of an experience than, you know, just a cookie cut type of thing and just going forward and kill everything because of your build. If you're doing a build of a creative build, or you're a build that you have that is min-maxing, or you're, you know, the top of line BIS, or the bullshit of, you know, technically it's called you're paying to win. There we go. The top of the line augments and top of line gear, weapons, things like that, you're pretty much paying to win. And if you want, you're not going to have that advantage in here. You're going to be equally as everyone else. Yeah, you're going to have certain advantages, but doing the task that I'm going to create for people that's paying to win and the players that's just free to play, they could play each and any of those tasks, but one is probably going to be harder or adjusted for those type of players. So it might be easier for you or it might be harder for you depending on the skill that you have. That's what I want to create. So I'm building a foundation, a blueprint. So let's say Karopi, or you know, Critical, Skulls, what's his name? Chrono, sorry. Or anybody else that wants to use this idea, they could copy and paste and, you know, claim it as their own. I'm not claiming it. I'm just the idea, the inventor of giving a different way of thinking of how to use and benefit Discord and as well as Alliance, because we shouldn't use Alliance how it is now. We should change how the Alliance is to fit our TOS system, that fit our criteria and our motivation how to prolong this game even further and change it. Maybe the freaking developer Sega will see it and they're like, oh shit. So they probably need to step up the game and maybe change their ways. This is one way. Hopefully it gets some people back into the game, or the people that is already here could maybe, what, maybe this game is not so bad. I could keep going a little bit more. It's something to do. But like I said, it's gonna be more of a hangout and hanging around with other type of alliances. But there are other ways we could change the alliance method for our benefit, which I won't say anything just yet of that. If you want to, have an alliance and maybe have a challenge or a certain title, but you won't have that title here. You would have in Discord. But you know what? It's an idea.
Let's do this again.
So, it would help us to find a way to maybe help in the community how to improve their gear if we want everyone in the same page. Because I know there's people's like, there's nothing end game quality to do that. It's not necessity to do it right now to improve your gear. But if we could make this work, maybe we could get everyone in the same page and focus how to enhance and improve on, maybe find our own way to make build sets. And, there's like certain players or gamers that made how you could use your class, right? So it's telling you the different techniques and different combos. Probably we could use him, those content creators, to give a fresh mindset of how to change that way of thinking and maybe add something to it of like creating a build. Also, player shop. We could improve the player shop if we all work together. But like I said, if all content creator maybe come as a unit and have a conversation with amongst each other, maybe me included, or you don't need to include me, but maybe just use the idea and figuring out certain things. And I'll give my honest opinion of how this and that maybe can work, or maybe it won't work at all. It's just an example, because I see myself as a visionary, and different ideas pops up, and sometimes the ideas stay the same or it changes depending what certain players or content creators say. So I stick what I know, but sometimes if I get certain information or certain conversation going, what you say and they say, whoever says, it expands our mind process or way of thinking. Because I believe in this. Two heads are better than one. So what does that mean by that? Two heads are better than one. Two different type of people that has different visions and different ideas, and probably they counteract from one another because they're the opposites, which is a good thing, a positive thing. Because I could say and be frank that I'm more of a negative type of guy, but also I'm very positive of what I say, but sometimes my aggressiveness and my attitude of talking shit, we could say, that, it might, you know, people might step back because how bold and frank I am. Because I tell it how it is and say it, almost pretty much to your face. And it may sound like rude. It may sound like, oh, I'm gonna fight you or something. That isn't the case. I'm pretty much a chill guy. And people misjudge me. People misuse what I say. And because sometimes what I say is not actually what I mean. So you have to keep talking to me a little bit more to understand me. Because yes, I do have a speech problem. Yes, I do have ADD and all this good stuff. But don't just judge for how my defectiveness. Just judge the type of person that I am. I could say all this shit, but, depending on the person, their personality, you could ride with me or not. That is fine. There's other type of content creator can maybe, improve the way I talk or, the way I think if we collab. If not, that's cool and dandy. But at least they get the information and they could make that ball going. Because I count myself as a gamer, not as much as content creator, because I love playing games. But as the years going by, how this shit is happening with tariffs and the economy, all this good stuff. Sadly, the games is gonna die out and it's gonna be not as a hobby, and it's gonna be more of a luxury type of thing because only the rich, the people that can afford games and play, it's gonna be a luxury, and people that's middle class and poor, they won't be able to, sadly. Hopefully I am wrong on that, but that's how it looks like in the gaming community. But, going back of NGS, Sega, things like that, we can change certain things. We could improve just us as gamers. But, like I said, I have plenty ideas to make things work. It's just that, do you guys want to listen, try it out, and see where it could go? And maybe your favorite content creator could probably step in, have a conversation with me, and like I said, copy and paste it and make it their own. Because I'm, like I said, I'm the visionary. I have these ideas. They could use them for themselves. They don't need to give me credit or, make my channel bigger. It would be nice, but I'd say no. I would say pass it on and, help another person and make them grow. You know, a small channel that maybe someone's struggling and you think it's good. Do it. Make them see what they can do if you help them out. Maybe, 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers. That could help that person out. Like I said, doesn't need to be me. I just, I am thankful people are viewing my content, seeing, and if they want to subscribe, they can, or like, or thumbs down. I don't really care. Algorithm doesn't mean shit to me, but I know there are certain people that does, and a lot of people, you know, look at the numbers and things like that. But like I said, that's YouTube stuff. But regardless of that, I'd say if you like NGS and you like base game, or you enjoy it so far, help me help you branching my idea out, and for you guys could use it for yourselves and you expand on it and improve on it. And you know what? You guys can claim this idea because I'm sharing it to all with you guys if you guys want it and want to improve this game and maybe save it. If you don't want to save it, or if you don't want to improve it and you just want it NGS and PSO2 die, and like I said in my previous video, enjoy the ride. Because so far, most of the players, or some of the, most of the players and maybe some content creators, is just, join the ride, even the developer team. But I would say, if you want to save it and, put on the last fight, put on the good fight, we can do something about it. It's just, you have to ignore certain things and try to make it work and make it better. And yeah. So, last thing before I go. There is a way to make limited time quests, nameless city, etc., etc., and urgent quest to make it better for us to enjoy it a little bit longer, even, how they have it set up. We can find a way of improvement and change the way how we see things. It's just take step by step or baby steps, depending. But it would be nice to see where it goes. But like I said, show you how this is my alliance, and that's the tag and bar. If you want to join in, hop right in, shout out and give me some love. But if not, it is what it is. And it doesn't need to be my alliance, but it'd be nice. And if you just want to hang out, have a hangout just to chill and do whatever you want. But like I said, rules that we might need to change. And giving you the freedom that you deserve of playing the game with, like I said, certain limitations that, you know, the TOS doesn't cover. Like I said, we could fix it. So, like that, from our community, from my community, and, other content creators community and gamers that get into this, and they're been building up on this idea with their own community, so we could get together and be involved and stay in touch of different alliance groups. So like that, just copying the TOS, what we made in Discord for each and every one, could, like I said, copy and paste. That could help out get rid of the bad eggs and having, different attitude, different style of people. Like I always say, you do you, I do me. So if we could get along just by that word, you do you and I do me, regardless of your sexual preferences, we'll be good. But yeah, it's something that we have to work on, you know, trying to make a better place for each and every one, and getting rid of certain, um, the nasty and the negative stuff away. So Sega, TOS, as well NGS TOS, we're not gonna buy by their rules. No, well, I'll explain further down the line because it's better. There are certain things that shouldn't be said. So once we build this community, like certain content creators, certain gamers that want to improve this atmosphere and, the community, we have to stay in touch, and there are certain things that shouldn't be said in, Discord, and also when we make content or videos. Certain videos should be, out of it. So Sega will have no idea, the developer team won't have the slightest idea, only, certain groups, certain percentage. So we're pretty much getting rid of their idea. And but if they wanted to be in, the company wants to include themselves in, they have to meet our demands and change. If not, they are separate. I'll say that because, certain things are meant to be secret, and a lot of things are meant to share. So keeping, the higher ups not included is the best move. But, I said enough. Let me know what you guys think. And I might make a part 2 of this video. Maybe not. Well, see ya. Peace out.